In a world filled with technology, it is no surprise that children are affected as well. More so today than ever before, children are growing up with tablets, iPods, video games, etc. As technology advances, there is no denying the impact it will have on future generations of children either. We have all heard that too much TV rots one's brain, but what is the take on video games? Just like we should limit the amount of time our children watch TV, it is also suggested that we limit the amount of time our children play video games. As a mother of 2 boys, I know how difficult this can be, especially since how readily available technology is and how much we rely on it. You have those that will argue that video games are for your children. I would agree with this in a sense, depending on the type of video game it is. On the other hand, as a mother who does let her children play video games, I can also see the benefits that occur, especially when they play educational video games. In a society where we as adults are constantly on our mobile devices, whether we are communicating, social networking, or playing games, how can we say it is wrong for our children to play video games? Our children are a mold of ourselves. Therefore, if it is bad for them, why isn't it bad for us? By being on our devices constantly, we are telling the next generation that this is okay. I do think we are contradicting ourselves by saying it's okay for us to depend on technology. However, it is harmful to our children if they do. Of course, there are certain games out there that are not appropriate for any child to play. However, this isn't the case for all games. Video games can offer several benefits to our children. These are as follows: educational benefits for students, improved multitasking, social benefits, career benefits, encouraging cooperation and teamwork, building confidence, promoting exercise, and encouraging group and social play. To one's surprise, digital media can help students develop early literacy skills. These skills are developed and improved not only through digital media, such as video games, but also because the parents and/or teachers get involved too. There are many websites out there that offer educational digital media, such as abcmouse.com, a site that is often utilized by teachers as well. Not only are younger children affected by digital media, but teens and college students can also be impacted positively. One may think that playing video games really doesn't take any kind of thinking at all. However, that isn't the case. Video games can affect the brain's activity, such as multitasking, when action games are played. Action games offer constant change in scenario, as well as distractions. Players must focus and concentrate in order to perform the task required in the game. A professor at the University of Rochester, whose name is Daphne Bavelier, conducted studies that showed some video gamers showed improvements in real-world associated tests that pertain to attention, accuracy, vision, and multitasking. Certain games are appropriate for a broad spectrum of individuals. These types of games bridge the gap between family members and allow them to play the video games together. For example, Just Dance is an interactive game that both parents and children, even grandparents, can play together. Other games that encourage social interaction are those that require the players to help each other. These games are known as pro-social games. Through these games, children, and adults too, can learn to work together in order to accomplish a goal as opposed to neutral games. The role that technology will have in our children's careers is undeniable. Just look at how far we have come over the past 10, 20, or even 30 years. Technology only progresses, so there are going to be changes and advances that we, as parents, will probably not to be able to wrap our minds around. Organizations such as the government, trade bodies, and some of the world's largest corporations use games to educate, train, and instruct employees. If so many are doing this in the present, what are the chances that most, if not all, will be doing this in the future? The internet has also changed the way video games are played. Instead of just being individual, players are able to play in teams. Certain games require team play, and tasks, goals, etc. cannot be accomplished individually. This forces the players to work as a team, which in the long run encourages teamwork. Not one person can lead a team, and you are only as strong as your weakest member. Ensuring you pull together and allow everyone to work collaboratively ensures the goals are met. This is an essential lesson that all children need to learn for when they grow up and get out into the real world or workforce. Believe it or not, there are some games out there that have been created and tested for confidence building. These games are specifically designed to allow kids to feel a sense of achievement when goals are accomplished, levels are beat, etc. New concepts are introduced in games. In turn, players are able to learn the new concept and master it. The end result is a sense of accomplishment. When children feel accomplishment, it builds up their self-confidence and self-esteem. In the years before, the biggest argument about video games, and especially television, is that it did not promote exercise or keep the kids active. Through the advances in technology, game systems are more interactive and require the individual to be the control. Systems, such as the Nintendo Wii and the Xbox Kinect, have enabled players to become the controller and control the game with the movement of their body. Most individuals look at exercise as a chore and not enjoyable. However, every kid, for the most part, likes to play video games. Incorporating the physical aspect into the game gets the kids moving and exercising without them even realizing it. Everyone has heard the staple of family game night, when families sat around the table and enjoyed board games and the like. More and more now, families are incorporating video games into these family nights because they are intriguing and engaging for all ages. The advances made in the video gaming world have built a bridge between family members, which allows them to enjoy the game together. Before, video games were always viewed as a solitary activity that parents hated their children doing. Video games now allow families to move, think, cooperate, help, learn, etc., and they are able to do it together, which helps form strong family ties and bonds. Even though video games can benefit a child, there is such a thing as moderation. They say even good things are bad for you in large quantities. Just because we say that you should allow your child to play video games doesn't mean that we are referring to all the time. Video game playing is beneficial for a child in moderation, much like everything else. Parents are able to influence the type of game as well as how much they get to play it. Parents still have control over the situation. Parental involvement is actually more beneficial to the child anyway. Video games are often thought of as violent and not appropriate for children. However, this isn't always the case. There are many games tailored specifically for kids. All parents need to do to ensure that their child plays an age-appropriate game is to look at the game rating. E for everyone means that any age can play the game. This rating is what is appropriate for young children. There have been many tests on the benefits of using video games for children regarding education. The Education Development Center and the U.S. Congress-supported Ready to Learn initiative discovered that curriculum that involved digital media, such as video games, could help to improve literary skills in children. These skills include increased letter recognition, sound association with letters, and understanding basic concepts, stories, and print. These findings were the result of studying children ages 4 to 5. There are many gaming systems out there, such as Leapster, Mobigo, etc., that are specifically designed to educate children. When children play video games before they reach kindergarten, they have a better chance of success because they are prepared if the teacher incorporates educational video and games. Michael Stroud, a professor of psychology at Merrimack College, believes that the amount of multitasking that goes into playing video games is much like driving a car. He states, When you drive a car, you are faced with a constantly changing environment of the road, not to mention several distractions that compete for the attention that reside in the car. At the same time, you are attempting to navigate through the environment to reach a goal. This is similar to how video games are played. The Federation of American Scientists proclaims that children need more, not less, video game play. They believe this is to be true because video games can potentially help us address a pressing problem for America, which is preparing students for a competitive global market, which will only increase through the years. Studies have also been conducted on the amount of activity it takes to play interactive video games. The Archives of Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine studied a group of 39 middle school children. In this study, they had the children play 6 different interactive games. At the end, they discovered that the activity it took to play the different games was equivalent to someone walking on a treadmill at a 3-mile-per-hour pace. Nursing homes, cruise ships, and after-school programs are all utilizing interactive video games in order to get people active. I understand as a parent that it's going to take more than just a presentation to change your mind. On the other hand, you cannot argue that I have brought up some interesting facts that make you go, If you still believe wholeheartedly that video games are negative for children, then I challenge you to cut out games played on consoles, smartphones, and other devices out of your life. Would you honestly be able to do it? Another thing you can try is instead of playing a board game on family game night, try playing a video game with the family. Gauge how your family responds, if they are having fun, and if you are having fun. You honestly will never know until you try. I personally incorporate video games into play with my 2 young boys. We all enjoy it and have a great time. Not to mention, in terms of educational video games, it has truly helped my children in terms of counting, letters, etc.